Hey, my name is Sam, and I'm the pastor of our broadcast location of Life Church in Edmond, Oklahoma. And I'm so excited to share with you some strategies that we use to roll out YouVersion for churches at my local church. And this is so important because we know that people's lives are transformed through the reading of God's Word. And so we were really excited to roll this feature out to our church. And so I want to give you 3 strategies that we use that will help you and inspire you and give you some ideas to roll this out to your church family as well. So the first one is feature a Bible plan. You know these Bible plans, there's a ton of them out there. And so what I did is I just encouraged our church to follow us on our church profile within the YouVersion Bible app. And then we offered them to start a Bible plan together. And we chose a 3-day Bible plan. We didn't want to overwhelm them. We just wanted them to take that first step and kind of have an easy step forward. And the way I did it was just inviting them, telling them, hey, we're gonna set a world record for the largest number of people starting a reading plan together. And that's exactly what we did. And it was fun and inspiring for them. And so you might start a Bible plan yourself, and it might be something that supports your sermon or that really touches on the felt needs of your people. And there's over 20,000 Bible plans that you can choose from. So there's something for your church as well. The second strategy is to talk about it and then keep talking about it. We know that we have to repeat ourselves and consistently lead our people. And that's exactly what we did. Now, you might talk about this new feature in your announcements, before your message, or after the message as a next step for your people to take. What we did is we took a QR code and we displayed it on our side screens, and then we actually took time and walked people through how to follow along. So they opened up their phone, they opened up their camera, they scanned the QR code that sent them a link that they could click on that would lead them directly to our church profile within the YouVersion Bible app. Then from that point, they could join the reading plan that we were all doing together and continue to engage in biblical community throughout the week. What we decided to do after that was one of our pastors recorded a devotional for each day of that reading plan, and we posted it on social media. About 1.5 minutes, not too long, again, just to get people engaged with this new tool. So you might do that for your church and in your own context. You might use a QR code, you might put a link instead, you might use social media or email or a text message. You know what works best for your church and for your community. So take that step, talk about it, and then keep talking about it. The third strategy is to share a story, something that you are great at. You know it. You know that sharing stories is a powerful way for others to see themselves and to see how God can change and impact their life. And listen, that's what YouVersion for Churches is all about. It's about helping people engage in God's Word in biblical community in your church. And so sharing a story is a great way to do that. And it might be a story of somebody at your church whose life was transformed because they started engaging in God's Word. And who knows, it might even be your story. Your story has the power to help your church engage in God's Word. I know for me, it really does. Like, this impacts me and it impacts my family. Not only because I'm engaging in God's Word, because my 12-year-old son is also engaging. He loves to keep his streak going, right? But he's also inviting me to reading plans. A 12-year-old son is engaging in God's Word and inviting me to be a part of that in his life. And it's changed our relationship, it's strengthening it. But the most important thing is as I get to watch my son and how God's Word is transforming his life even at this young age. You know this. Stories help people engage in seeing how God can use them and change their lives as well. And that's what it's all about. I hope these 3 strategies are helpful for you and that they inspire you to come up with great ideas for yourself. And we're praying for you as you start using these new tools and resources to really help your community engage in God's Word. If you haven't yet set up your church profile, make sure you do that. And then as you start using it, if you have any questions, please reach out to us. We love to hear from churches so that we can continue to help you do what you do best, and that's lead your people, pastoring your people and helping them engage in God's Word.